All right, let's talk about Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, of course, the guy who's competing for a starting job here with the Raiders. Him and Aiden O'Connell. I'm making film studies on both of these guys, but I figured so this is the Gardner Minshew one. Check out the Aiden O'Connell one if you are interested. But yeah, for Minshew, it was interesting. He didn't start this game, although Pierce has still maintained that he could end up being the starter. It has not officially been named. So did Minshew do enough to win the starting job, or did he do anything wrong that is making it you more likely to give it to O'Connell? Well, let's just get into it. First, a play like this, I mean, you definitely saw some preseason plays, right? And what I mean by that is what you're going to see on this one. It's a zone coverage concept. The Raiders have a receiver who's essentially running a setup route, get the corner who is deep towards the top of the screen, further deep, and then the one that I've circled the end of in white, that is the one that usually can get open here. Minshew is going to take the snap. Looks like he runs a quick play action and then he's going to fire a little bit off balance. And again, that's kind of how Minshew has always played, is even if he doesn't necessarily have to throw a little bit off balance, he will sometimes because he's usually pretty good at it. And especially one like, I think sometimes he just chooses timing over getting his feet fully square of like, you see how open this is. He knows he can make this throw even if he's just a little bit off. Because as you see, I mean, when the ball gets there, this is as open as it gets. Again, that's what I mean when I say a preseason play, right? Of just like sometimes it just happens where, especially if you have, you're just as a hypothetical example, sometimes you have a team like with their first string against another team's third string. It's like, okay, I'm going to assume that you're going to do pretty good in that situation, right? But still, I mean, again, these are the layups, but you have to make your layups. If you're trying to win a starting job, you can't be missing these. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a perfect day by Minshew. Like, for example, this was probably, it's a negative. It for sure is. It's not the biggest negative in the world. And there's even positives of this play. It's a first down and 10, man coverage play. This over-the-middle route tends to be pretty open on these types of plays, especially when it's a 5-man rush like it's going to be for Minnesota, because then there's no one else covering the middle of the field. It's just pure, one-on-one matchup. So when Minshew is going to, take the snap, he reads this play well. He knows who he needs to hit. I mean, this part is good by Minshew for sure. However, the throw is just off. He just misses the throw. So again, a missed throw. Missed throws happen. You're probably not going to lose the job with one missed throw, but if you, kind of rack these up, you could potentially, at the very least, not be able to win it if this happens. That being said, though, I thought Minshew played really well. Other than that, I thought that he had a pretty nice day. Like, there was things like this, which is definitely one that will go on to highlight reel, although it, you could still argue not the highest degree of difficulty play, but still an important one. It's, kind of the classic play you see all the time in the preseason, which is the defense is going to be playing a cover one man play right here. It's set up as though it's going to be cover 2, but they're going to eventually shift into cover 1, meaning that the sidelines are open. You can run a deep shot there. Again, this happens all the time in regular games too, but especially in the preseason, teams want to see what they have in their corners. They want to see what they have in their receivers. So, putting as much stress on your corners as possible can sometimes be a great way to see who can hang in these situations. So, for Minshew, got a deep shot on 3rd and 11. Let's see what can happen. Minshew takes the snap, and he is going to eventually look in that direction and fire in that direction right here. And it was a bit of a unique play because the receiver didn't just run by the corner. He kind of got the inside leverage and is now trying to get back sort of outside the numbers, so that adds a little bit of complication to this. But still, you see Minshew with a really accurate ball. It's kind of interesting where Minshew isn't known for having a big arm. In fact, that's usually cited as one of his negative parts of his game, but he's really accurate with the deep shots. So even though he might not necessarily throw the most aesthetically pleasing ball when it comes to deep shots, hey, if you're a Raiders fan, the most aesthetically pleasing deep shot is one that ends up caught. So you're happy with these types of plays. Like this one's another one where, again, to me, this is a higher degree of difficulty play. The other one wasn't easy, but this one going to be tougher where it's a man coverage concept. It's another deeper shot. They're at the 20, so it's not like a straight up deep shot, and also with it going from the offense's left to the right, it's a little bit more unique on this one, but still, let's see what happens. Minshew is going to take the snap. He, again, it looks like they set up a play action, but then didn't. He's going to throw that, and I mean, I'm actually going to just rewind it and play it again a couple times just so you can see it. See how he's throwing it, right? You see how kind of awkwardly he throws it. He's about to get hit. Like, he's doing what he can. On top of that, when you finally get to here, I mean, it's not like this is wide open down the field. It's not like earlier where it's, okay, he's throwing kind of like this, but it's to hit the wide open player. No, he's throwing like this to hit a player who is open, but not wide open. However, beautifully thrown ball by Minshew. I mean, this is really good stuff. And this is kind of the difference in many ways between him and O'Connell. I thought O'Connell was hitting all the layups, hitting a lot of singles, no real issues. I did think you saw more added stuff with Minshew. Again, Minshew was going up against weaker competition, has to be mentioned, but I thought he did a little bit more like when a play broke down. Like, for example, something like this, where the way this is going to work is it's a 3rd down and 3. It's man coverage, so that's the way this is going to work. Cover 1 blitz, and hopefully someone can get open quickly. However, when Minshew takes the snap, he's going to look towards his left and kind of quickly realizes nobody is open. Luckily for him, he's scanning the field well and understands where the pocket is. He's able to get outside the pocket right here. This is a unique scenario because that Minnesota player right there has a dilemma, right? He could run up and try and tackle Gardner Minshew, but if he does that, he's leaving someone else open, and Minshew is looking at that player. So he kind of can't do that because, again, if Minshew just put his head down, then you probably just run over and tackle him, but Minshew has his head up, so you can't do that. So he does not cover Minshew, and because of that, Minshew is able to use his legs to pick up a 1st down. It's like, hey, offensive coordinators love that, right? When they design a play, it doesn't work out, but the quarterback makes it work. I mean, there's, even Kyle Shanahan, that's why he drafted Trey Lance, because he wanted someone who could hopefully do that. Didn't work out with Lance, but why Purdy works so well in that scheme is because Purdy can do that, right? So yeah, I mean, listen, it was a performance of big plays, and if that's what you're looking for, if you're, the coaching staff of the Raiders, Minshew gave it to you. I do think it is tough to win the starting job when the other quarterback had to go against tougher competition at the beginning of preseason, and played pretty well, right? I didn't think O'Connell did too much wrong. So for Minshew, for him to win it, it's just always going to be tough because even if you look better, people are going to say, well, easier competition. So the nice thing for Minshew is he has another game to try and earn the starting job. They stated that they're going to decide after the next game who will be the starters. So definitely Minshew has a chance. I thought that he pretty much did everything he could. Like I said, wasn't a perfect performance, but certainly I think did a lot of good in this one and has an opportunity to be a starter. Certainly could do a lot worse. So those are my thoughts on Minshew. Before I go, just should mention I do have a movie channel. If you like movies, like talking about movies, I have a movie channel. Jackson Kruger Movies is what it's called. The link is in the description below. So if you want to hear my thoughts on some movies, check that out. But anyways, those are my thoughts on Gardner Minshew. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.